The Los Angeles Rams are going back to the NFC Championship game this Sunday. They will face the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, but they did so in a crazy heart attack fashion of a game against the Chicago Bears last Sunday in Chicago. Snow flurries were coming down just like the hearts of many Chicago Bear fans out there. They were definitely down, bear down, as the Bears went down against the Rams in the NFC Divisional round. But it was a game that had everything. It had snow, drama, improbable clutch plays, and a finish that will be talked about for years, especially for those Bears fans who thought they had the game not in the bag per se, but man, what an incredible throw by Bears quarterback Caleb Williams to tight end Cole Kmet. But the Rams drew first blood right from the get-go. On Chicago's opening possession, Caleb Williams threw a costly interception deep into Rams territory, setting up an 85-yard, 14-play march by the Rams. Running back Kyren Williams capped it off with a 4-yard touchdown, and suddenly LA was up 7-0. Kyren would actually score the Rams' only 2 touchdowns, as we didn't have a single passing touchdown all game long, and it was not a great game by Matthew Stafford whatsoever. I think the cold really affected his passing numbers. He was 20 of 42 from the field all night long, and you could just really tell he was underthrowing passes, he was overthrowing passes, and he just really couldn't get his bearings right. But hey, it was enough. He did go for 258 yards total yards. But again, not a great game by Matthew Stafford, but the rest of the offense picked up the slack. But this game was truly about the defenses. In the third quarter, it was a true battle of defenses on the field. It boiled over late into the fourth quarter, and the Rams drove into Chicago territory, and Kyren Williams again found a 5-yard touchdown run, pushing LA to a 17-10 lead with under 9 minutes to play. And at that point, the Rams looked like they might have had this game in control until one of the most improbable plays ever you'll see in NFL playoff history. Facing 4th and 4 with less than 30 seconds left, Caleb Williams backpedaled, escaped pressure, and launched a miracle touchdown pass to Cole Kmet with just 18 seconds left on the clock. The play traveled over 50 yards in the air, and boom, they were tied at 17 all. And with the stadium erupting, it felt like Chicago had done it again, because remember last week what Chicago had done. Caleb Williams, an incredible pass against the Green Bay Packers in order to get that victory for the Chicago Bears last week in the wild card. But that was then, this was now, and the Chicago Bears had tied the game going into overtime. So into overtime we went, and it was still a grind. Chicago got the ball first, but Williams threw his 3rd interception of the game, turning it over to LA and giving the Rams a golden opportunity. A tremendous pick by the Rams' Cam Curl, who changed the trajectory of this game, because it looked like the Bears were going to march down the field and score and possibly win the game. But with this interception, it changed the game around, where the Rams were able to get the ball back, and then in overtime the Rams set up into field goal position, where the thicker kicker Mevis Harrison set up a 30-yard field goal for the win, sending the Rams to the NFC Championship game. This will be the Rams' 3rd NFC Championship appearance for the 3rd time in the last 9 years. But as I keep mentioning, the Rams have earned themselves a place in the NFC Championship game this upcoming Sunday in Seattle against the Seattle Seahawks, where the Rams and the Seahawks split the regular season series between the two. But the Rams are looking to get a little bit of revenge from last month, where the Rams had a disappointing loss in overtime in Seattle a month ago. That was a heartbreaking, wrenching loss, 38-37 in overtime, where the Rams felt like they had that game in control. They were up about 13, 14 points in the fourth quarter and let it slip, and the game got into overtime, and the Seahawks, who were the number 1 defense in the NFL, outscored the Rams to get that victory. But it was in week 11 where also the Rams were able to keep the pressure on, and the Rams were able to beat the Seahawks 21-19. One last thing to look out for will be the jilted ex-lover of the Rams, Cooper Kupp. He's going to be able to... It's interesting how these things play out in real life now. Cooper Kupp, an all-time Ram, leaves the Rams this offseason to go to the Seahawks. Basically, the Rams didn't want to pay him anymore. They felt like he was on the back end of his career with injuries. The guy goes to Seattle, and now look, that he has an opportunity to beat the Rams to go to the Super Bowl, which is an interesting little plot twist here. Obviously, as a Rams fan, we don't want that to happen. We want to see Cooper Kupp have some success, but we're not trying to see Cooper Kupp go have an all-time great game out here beating the Rams. But can the Rams shut down the Seahawks where they're able to secure a spot into Super Bowl 60? It'll be interesting to see what kind of game plays out. And let's vamos Rams, baby. Let's get the job done, and let's find ourselves next week preparing for Super Bowl 60.